Hello, 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 everyone. Hi, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm finishing up sending a message to my friend Discord really fast. Okay, now I'm with you guys. Hello. Hi, I'm here. I'd like to extend a big congratulations to Corvacay for getting the first Channel Points award. Little round of applause for you. Good morning, Gamer Nation. Gamer Good Nation morning, says CandyBot, and you know, CandyBot is so right about that. Friend, thank you for the not first. Very cool, very cool. GG indeed. What's up? Hey Penny, welcome on in. Hi everyone, how are we feeling today? You feeling right? Oh my gosh, wait, hold on, sorry. I just remembered I'm trying drawing my hair in a different way today, and I need to get that set up for while I'm streaming. Because this is gonna be the time that I'm using to get my hair to do that. Don't worry about it, it's fine. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's fine, don't worry about it at all. It's fine. I'm just trying something today. Don't worry about it. It's a-okay, alright. No problems here. Totally fine. Totally fine and chill. Dollbot is cringing again? What the heck, Dollbot? Why would you do that? Why would you be cringe? Why would Dollbot ever decide to be cringe? Okay, I'm here. It's fine. We're in it to win it. It's okay. Perfectly chill and fine and normal. I've been okay. For the hair thing, I've been on a little funky journey lately where for most of my life I thought that my hair was pretty straight, and then I have very recently, within the past like year, figured out that it's actually like pretty wavy, and it's just that I've not been looking after it properly. So I'm currently making an effort to attempt to encourage that, but it's kind of slow going because I have no idea what I'm doing. Why do people do this? And to be honest, I'll probably get like 3 steps and decide I hate everything and then just stop caring. But in the meantime, you know, do some suffer through it. Also, I've got some grapes to pick from you, Quimby. Okay. Like Minecraft, I'll take a look. Ooh, Cerebral. I love that cherry tree. That's so pretty. And also the column is nice. Okay, that's the end of the intro section. We're gonna turn on some tunes, some chill tunes for today because as much as I'm probably going to have to be fighting mobs to be in the trial chamber, I just think let's take it chill. You know, let's just vibe out and collect copper and do. Oh, there's mobs fighting me. Oh, that's so crazy. You know. Let's go ahead and change the scene. 3, 2, 1, and pop. We are here in a cave. There's a zombie falling down that waterfall. There's another zombie there. I'm gonna check if there's any mobs up here. I should just light it up a little bit, just for safety's purpose. So I was thinking about it, chat. You know, we're all done with the trial chamber vaults for this area, and I was like, oh man, okay, you know, that's neat, that's cool, that's chill. Time for me to go back to my house, but I realize I am tens of thousands of blocks out, and if I don't pick up the copper now, I might never do it. So I've come to the executive decision that I can pick up the copper from trial chambers as long as I wax it completely, or as long as I unwax it and unoxidize it completely. It has to be fresh. Yeah, that cherry tree took so long to make it look good. I believe it. It's doing organics in Minecraft is already kind of funky, but then, you know, trees. I say that people haven't been building custom trees for about as long as Minecraft has existed, but I still think it's pretty neat, impressive. So we are going to be heading back down into the trial chamber, because again, if I don't do this now, I don't know that I ever will. Shrug. So welcome to today. We are going to be mining copper, but in a very different way than we have normally been doing it. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of chill. I am going to reset. I'm going to set the beacon back up though. I did a little soul searching on that. I'm like, oh man, we already took down the beacon. But I've just come to the decision that having an active beacon is just so very nice when you're in potentially dangerous straits. So this shouldn't take too much time. I've already got the area dug out for it. You know, we're just putting it back. It's not that big a deal. It's fine. It's literally fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, grip number 1. Why? Because I am a cruel, cruel, evil mastermind. Next question. I like this game. I think I'll always love a little get to know you. So much iron. So very much iron. Oh gosh, I just forget how much I hate working within the tight quarters, though. Did that answer suffice for you, Penny? Did that adequately get you what you were looking for? Is that okay? Okay, alright. For this, I'm going to have to be fighting mobs, so I do want to get regen. But honestly, I think instead of strength, let's pull haste, maybe? No, oh gosh, probably strength is still good to defeat the mobs. It's gonna take me a while to get the copper anyway, because I'm gonna have to wax it. So I'm gonna have to unwax it completely, unoxidize it completely before picking up, so I don't know that haste will actually be that big of a help. So we're gonna pull strength again. Grip number 2, when did you discover this? I've always known. I've always known eternally forever. I'm privy to all information, and I choose to use it for evil. Is that good? Am I doing this right? Okay. This is gonna be an ordeal. It's fine. We're just gonna do this for every single block in this place. Cause, I mean, having fully oxidized copper is really nice. It's really cool, but for the cube, it's gotta be fresh. It's gotta be fresh copper. Hey, I'm mining here! This is fine. This is totally fine. It's, we're having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about. We're having a fantastic experience. Are you, why would we need, what, is something wrong? I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Is there something I should be worried about at this moment in time? But hi, Mr. Maluk, welcome on in. Lovely to see you. Yeah, it's listen, the world is a cruel and terrible place, and sometimes and sometimes that which is beautiful must be destroyed for the for the continual march of time, I guess. Time and progress. This is fine. This is totally fine. Yes, hello. And how are you this fine day, Mr. Maluk? Hope you are doing well and are popping off. Hope life is treating you kindly. I am very interested to see how this whole copper thing goes. Because there's a lot of copper in this trial chamber. But yeah, I guess the question remains on exactly how much is this gonna be. People always talk about trial chambers having just so very much copper. But I personally tend to work on scales of copper that are beyond the comprehension of mere mortals. So I'm interested to see how it scales in my perspective of copper. I'm trying to leave my, yeah, okay. I want to leave this front area, my middle inventory slot clear of copper as much as possible, because I want to use that as my gauge for if I've accidentally picked up any waxed copper. Putting away the raw copper really quick, because we don't really necessarily need that here. Let me say, how much copper? They never ask how or so much copper. Exactly! Exactly! See, Mr. Maluk gets it. That's the thing I like about you, is you get it. You understand where we're coming from. On a deep, visceral, emotional level. Oh gosh, this place is gonna be a mess by the time I'm done with it. I'm trying to decide if I want to pick up the, like, chiseled copper blocks and stuff. Because on one hand, you know, on one hand, it could be, I can't use it in the cube, but, like, could be good for, like, build purposes or something. But I don't know if that's gonna be too much effort, you know? We're just gonna... Luckily with the green stuff, there's a more noticeable way to tell that it's been fixed up for Quimby use. The rough part about this, actually no, we're just taking off the shield for the moment, so that I can just, so I don't have to click the button multiple times. I'm not gonna lie, it does kind of hurt my soul to be taking away the oxidization like this, but it's also kind of weirdly satisfying, you know? That's, I love a little like fill game or something where you just like fill spaces up, and this is kind of hitting those same things. Tool wielding. I mean, we gotta optimize is the thing. I mean, it's about the optimization. Okay, I should probably start mining this before any of it starts re-oxidizing. So let's just finish up with this section. Let's just get all of that there. Oh good. Oh gosh, there was a little light effect when I broke that block. I don't know exactly what that was, but it was indeed a little light effect. That's Minecraft sound design on point as always. Minecraft has really good sound design. That's the thing that I feel like people kind of underestimate about the game, is that they do a really, really good job with the noises. With having like unique and interesting noises for all the things, but that like make sense. I know some people who, when like new snapshots come out with like new blocks and stuff, just like grab all the new blocks and then start walking on them to see how it's gonna sound, and what they've done with that. Grade number 3, jet lag. Yeah, okay. Penny, how did you not know that there's a new jet lag season coming out? How did you not know? Do you not keep up with the jet lag, with the jet lag news? I watch them mostly on Nebula nowadays, but I make sure that I'm subscribed to the YouTube channel for like so that at least if like updates and stuff come out, that I can hear about it. Where's the jet lag news? Yeah, so I keep track of their YouTube channel. They do release the trailer a week later on YouTube than they do on Nebula, but that just means that the first episode is out on Nebula when the trailer comes out on YouTube. So you know, I argue still a win. I do that. I occasionally check in on like the jet lag tag on Tumblr, and some people there follow the boys on Twitter, which is where they usually post their news. So then it trickles down that way. Let's see what else. I don't listen to the layover, but I'm sure if one listened to the layover, they would talk about stuff. Yeah, honestly, I mostly do get it from like just keeping my ears out on Tumblr and stuff. Not active enough anything but Discord to get this stuff. Yeah, unfortunate. Maybe I should just make a greater effort to talk about new jet lag seasons on stream, so that if nothing else, you can get it from me. I'll be your little jet lag fairy godparent. I'll be like, hey, by the way, the boys are going to Italy to explore for the season. I think my best bet is to do X and Y. Cut to the chasers. He probably wants to do X and Y. That'd be his best bet. I love it when that happens. No, seriously, genuinely, I love it when that happens. I love when they prove that they all know this game so well. At this point, it's not necessarily that anyone like plays a lot better than the other guys. It's just like it's luck of the draw with challenges, the options that they have with the trains, and then and not to say that there's no skill involved, because there's a lot of skill involved. But then it's a matter of like misdirection and stuff, where, you know, it's not who can make the best train route, it's who can leverage all the other factors of the game best, which I personally quite enjoy. Maybe I need to add an email notification option. That'd be neat. Getting notified, getting the news. Oh gosh. We're picking up the copper lamp. Or I guess I've got a copper bulb now. That's fine. I don't have anything against copper bulbs. This is really genuinely fine. Oh, I didn't mean to unwax that one, but what you gonna do sometimes? I think that's everything I got waxed. Yeah, see, and then you get the visible copper, and then there's more of it hiding. There's more of it being sneaky over there. Okay, that's dark enough that I feel like I gotta leave a torch for safety purposes. The bulb. Bulbs copper don't count as beacon compatible, do they? I don't know. I don't know about that. I just always work with iron with beacons. It's entirely possible that there's a whole world of copper beacons that I'm not privy to. Here, all the little copper. All the little copper blocks come to me. I will say, so far I would say that this experiment is showing a faster rate of copper collection than just simply mining. By sheer weight of just look, I've gotten 3.5 stacks of copper already, and it's already smelted. So I think that at the very least, I'm probably gonna want to strip the chambers I've already found. Give me just a sec. With bulbs and beacons, I feel like you could make some cool ambiance when you eventually finish the cube. Ooh, now there's a thought. What is the Bedrock team doing? Probably being cringe. I don't know. Like, no hate to the Bedrock team or Bedrock players. I just wouldn't be surprised, you know. Oh gosh, now it's choice paralysis. I think is gonna be the hardest part of this. Of like, what do I go after next? Could keep going this way. Could like go up the walls and stuff. The walls is gonna be super annoying. Well, doing the walls is gonna be real annoying. But then also doing stuff inside the chambers itself is gonna be rough, because I'm gonna have to fight the guys before I have the option of getting things. And then there's like stuff on the ceilings and walls, and doing like a single chamber like that is gonna take me a hot second. I just teleported over 8 key blocks away to the cores of my last position on Realm. I'm on single player RN. And it shoved me at why -33? So if I was in survival I would have died? Goodness. Expect for the player may die and come through portals, am I right? Oh my gosh. Am I a Bedrock player? I can't remember talking about, but I heard something nice and was negative about Bedrock. Sounds like it, yeah. Indeed it does sound. I believe we are disparaging Bedrock here at the moment. Your instincts were correct about that. No, it is still wild to me that you can't play hardcore on Bedrock because pardon me, there's a bug where you might just die suddenly. I'm again, absolutely no, like, no hate to Bedrock players or anything. But I'm sorry, what? What the heck? I've never played Bedrock. This is a random death bug, so it doesn't affect it. You can play hardcore. I think the bug is still there though. Never a death bug ever on Bedrock. I've been playing it my whole life. Well, maybe your life's special little princess. Have you considered that? Although, actually, to be honest, fighting mobs is probably going to be pretty good for the durability of my axe. You know, getting that little bit of XP, because I'm gonna be. I actually don't know if it takes durability to scrape this. Let's check. So we've got 16, 13, 16, 12. It does take durability. Does take durability to scrape the copper. Oh boy. Oh boy, howdy. So yeah, honestly, I guess fighting mobs isn't gonna be, I guess it's probably going to end up being a vital part of the strat. There's just an awful lot going on here, you know? Like, I think that's my biggest complaint so far about picking the copper up from here is that oh gosh, my brain. You're just gonna get all of that. Picking up all the copper. I'll have to get that stuff eventually. And that stuff eventually. But to be honest, I do feel like that can be a future Quimby problem. I feel like present Quimby's just gonna take the stuff that's like right here, you know? So, Bedrock has no anti-cheat beta? Time to make like Peter B. Parker and re-examine my personal biases? When I say anti-cheat, I don't mean like auto-clickers or whatever. I assume you're gonna tell me what you actually mean if I let you finish your statement there. Oh, time to re-examine my personal biases. That's such a good quote from Into the Spider-Verse. Big fan of that, to be honest. Just checking my steps here. Okay. I feel like at some point I'm gonna maybe start getting sloppy with this, but so far it has yet to occur, which is the goal, which is pretty nice. It is sad that my statistics count of times crafted on blocks of raw copper is no longer going to match my I guess it's gonna match on that, but I guess my times used is not going to match. That is unfortunate, but what you're gonna do. Great movie in my opinion. No, real. I love Into the Spider-Verse. I've actually got the hot take that in many ways I actually prefer it to Across the Spider-Verse. Just because I think that these stories that they're telling are very different. Like not oh, I prefer it to Into the Spider-Verse because I think Into the Spider-Verse is so bad. It's just that I think they're just simply doing different things with the movies. And just for me personally, I tend to prefer, oh gosh. Well, I guess we're fighting breezes now. Yeah, just for me personally, I tend to prefer the type of story being told Into the Spider-Verse a little bit more. You can TP to, I mean, stuff like, you know, making sure players are able to teleport 8k blocks because the game plan said, yeah bro, I'm at 0 to 108,000. Can TP anywhere you want as a not player in survival. Goodness. Yeah, very different. Into the Spider-Verse is definitely a whole story, while Across felt like half. Yeah, and, how to explain my thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse versus Across the Spider-Verse, because again, they're genuinely both incredible movies, that do beautiful things with animation. But in many ways, to me personally, Into the Spider-Verse felt a lot more like a Spider-Man story, kind of. Where they're both Spider-Man stories, obviously, and yeah. So first of all, they are both Spider-Verse stories. They are both very good, but I'm gonna sneeze. We're fine. We're fine. It's still able to stand on its own with arcs and stuff, but like you said, the stories are different. But Into the Spider-Verse felt like a story about a Spider-Man. Across the Spider-Verse feels like a story about the concept of Spider-Man, like Spider-Men in general, kind of. Or Spider-People, technically. But yeah, and just for me personally, in my own my humble biased opinion, I really like the smaller scale stuff a bit better usually. And absolutely no tea, no shade on Across the Spider-Verse. It's an incredible movie. I've just got thoughts about storytelling and how we look at characters and what characters are doing. You know, just for me personally, Into Spider-Verse hits a lot more of my favorite like things with writing. Both fantastic movies. First one is you're talking the theming bit? Yeah. The question is, how in the heck does the server let this slide? And if you want an anti-cheat, given this world sharing is the only real option. First one is, anyone can wear the mask. Who's Spider-Man? What does it mean? The second one is more like, let's follow our spider blorbos. Yeah. Basically takes, and you know, listen, every single day, not every single day, but I go live on twitch.tv and I give based takes. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Because, you know, because of all of my tireless work with giving base takes on stream on twitch.tv. Greetings, friends. Friend, hi. Hello, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm giving base takes on twitch.tv like I do every single day of my life. No one is more dedicated to the grind of giving base takes on twitch.tv than I am. This is my life's purpose. This is what I've trained for all these years. I'm gonna have to organize my inventory at some point, and actually, to be honest, I'm just gonna eat these baked potatoes because I really don't need the baked potatoes, you know. And now I'm gonna eat the bones because I don't need the bones. Anywho, at any rate, yeah, hi friend, welcome on in. We're talking about the Spider-Verse movies. And I also, okay, This is such a nitpick and also not a critique of Across the Spider-Verse. Something I loved in Into the Spider-Verse was I loved how every single time a spider person saw another spider person, they'd go, "You're like me." I think there was something there to me. Something about like, I don't know if I can even describe it. Oh. What you got there, Penny? It's a YouTube link. Surely clicking on YouTube link has never gone poorly for anyone. Oh, how to crash servers, how to crash Minecraft servers with one block. Nice. Might want to mute the tab and use subtitles. Only watch like 15 seconds. Oh boy. Okay. And getting in. Sweet. You've got a beehive. Oh, and it exploded. And rip your server. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was certainly an experience that I've just been subjected to. Thank you for sharing, Penny. My goodness. Yeah, my inventory is gonna be such a mess by the end of this. It's gonna be Such an incredible mess. But it's fine. We say winning forever. That's what Bedrock lets slide. Goodness gracious me. No, listen. I'll have it be just put out into the world right now that and again, I personally still have nothing against Bedrock, and I think that, you know, I think it's a great way to play. But also, what the heck? Holy cow! You know, like oh. My goodness gracious me. That's so funky. Oh gosh. Okay. We are just going to... Yep, we're just gonna let the blocks fall and I'll just chase after him or something. I don't know. Yep. Totally normal way to do this. But yeah, I'm picking up all the copper from the trial chamber, and it's gonna take a hot second because of the, you know, the strict standards and requirements of the cube. But yeah, we're popping off. I've gotten, you know, almost oh goodness, almost 6 stacks so far. That's pretty impressive, I would say. They even happened to an official mob vote server, and they still haven't gotten the message to fix it. Yeesh. Goodness, maybe they should fix it at some point. Ah, quality control. Gosh darn quality control. It really do be like that sometimes. How do I want to handle this bit? Oh, gosh. I knew getting these lines across the top and middle of the chamber was gonna be the most difficult part. Maybe I should just leave that for future Quimby. Maybe I should just say that's a future Quimby problem and come back to that in a hot sec. I think that sounds like a good idea. I think... Get wrecked, future Quimby. Is this? No, okay, there is a line of tough underneath. So we're just gonna scooch around. But they also crippled the modding community on Bedrock on purpose? Why would they do that? Why would they do that to our beautiful modders? To the modders who so graciously dedicate so much of their lives to Minecraft? Why would they do that? Does that have anything except for legal mods? No, oh, sorry, not legal, legit. Which can those two words can be used in the same context, but I don't think that the context that they're being used in here is exactly that. Oh gosh, there's copper up there. Okay, totally fine. Not a problem at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would it be a problem? That's so weird. Why would you say that? Why would it be a problem? That's so funky. Legit mod developers got so yeah, the very hacked client in the video still works. But then I mean I feel like that's worth mourning in its own way, because not everyone is gonna want to use a hacked client or like break the rules, you know. I just kind of feel like, you know, the more accessible things are, the better. What can I say? I'm a big accessibility fan. I think I've got this hot take where I think that nice things should be available to a lot of people. Kind of weird, I know, not a super popular opinion, but oh well, you know, I'm nothing if not an outlier. But okay, so to return to the Spider-Verse conversation though, because I still have thoughts on that. I think it's the only real reason for them to break mods is to stop hacks, and yet they didn't. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's a bit cringe, I would say. Ah! I definitely jumped there. What the heck? Okay, but to talk more about the whole Spider-Verse thing. Again, Across the Spider-Verse, fantastic movie. I loved it. I say these words out of love. It felt too big for the kind of storytelling that I really liked in the first one. And they recognized that, and so they didn't try to do that same storytelling that they did in the first one. So again, they knew what was happening, they knew what they were doing, they committed to the bit, they had a plan. All extremely admirable behavior. But Into the Spider-Verse was a small story for as for as big as it was. It was the story of a single Spider-Man coming into his own, figuring this whole thing out. There were other Spider-Men involved. I've definitely failed to wax that block, which means I'm gonna need to. Yeah, okay. It was one Spider-Man. The other Spider-Man were there, and it was important, and they all had plot relevance and stuff. But we had one main character who the story was focused around, and the others were supporting characters. Across the Spider-Verse had many more characters. Not again, I have to keep saying this constantly because I have to make it clear just how much I love the movie. That's not a critique. Having more characters, I think, is conducive for the wider story that they're trying to tell. I'm just going to open up an entirely new box to put the copper into. Lord, thank you for the honk. Hello, welcome on in. This one's gonna get them that sweet marketplace money. Ah, cringe. Gotta be getting that sweet marketplace money. But yes, hello, welcome on in, Lord. We are chatting. We are chatting about things. Currently Spider-Verse. No, but they clearly wanted Across the Spider-Verse to be that bigger, wider story. So no tea, no shade about it, and it's good. They're leaning into it in a way that I'm very excited to see what they do with the next one. But it does mean that the characters by necessity have to be a little bit less. They can't be as explored in depth. I mean, Peter B was in the movie, yes, but the amount of time we got him with was so much less than the first one. Sure, he's not necessarily as big of a main character there because he's already had his arc, but I think, yeah, it just goes to show that with including so many more Spider people and interconnected stories, they couldn't focus in as much as we got in the first one. Which again, totally fine. Totally fine. I've been doing nothing. How is that? I'm doing alright. Picking up copper, gotta stay, gotta keep collecting that sweet copper for the cube. Marketplace for copyright infringement is A-OK, and they actually tried to hide LGBTQ plus content. Ah, yes, how lovely for the marketplace. At heart, the character of Spider-Man is the personal stakes, not the world-ending multiversal problems, but about personal relationships, doing good, right, and balancing very real hardships in life. In this essay, I will. Indeed. No, I 100% agree. Actually, you're so real for that, Mr. Maluk. Oh yes, the cube. Indeed, the cube. The cosmic entity which haunts my dreams, telling me to get back to work. Maybe I should unionize at some point. Unionize with all the other poor souls being dragged into the cube's orbit. But the issue with that is that it's just me. So I don't think unionizing would do very much for me. Unfortunate, but what you gonna do? Not unionize. Yeah. Glad this is impossible in Java. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Thank you for stopping by, Lord. Lovely as always to have you here. Appreciate your presence. They try they'd be forced to backtrack, or someone will just make a mod to remove it. Here, I'm gonna drink some water. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh gosh, I did not mean to mind that block. Whoa, okay. Yeah, no, the core of the Spider-Man story is the personal stakes. Like for goodness sake, the classic Spider-Man origin story, the Peter Parker failing to save Uncle Ben one, like the heart of that is that, the stakes for someone are always personal, And that's why he's, you know, that's why he does so much, is because sure, maybe he may not be involved in something necessarily, but for someone this is the biggest deal of their life, and an important piece of being Spider-Man is recognizing that and seeing the humanity in the people that you're helping. And I don't think that Across the Spider-Verse fails in demonstrating any of that. In fact, I think, you know, they do a very good job of showing how all Spider-Man are very similar, very much the same, particularly in how Miguel contrasts with that. I love what they're doing with that. How things like you're not funny. Most Spider-Man are funny. Are you sure you're even a Spider-Man? Yeah, because there's cosmic truths, and Spider-Man being funny is one of them. And Miguel not being funny is actively a sign that we should be looking at as a red flag. Like, hey, that's not a Spider-Man. Bedrock is a lot easier for them to shove around. Worst they can do is slow down the process, but people in the early days worked through the anime before things got nicer. You can't even refuse to update on Bedrock. Can't even refuse to update. What the heck? What the heck, really? Weird. I feel like that I'm that meme of the person being like, in the American regime, you get arrested for just hanging around without buying things. But that honest to goodness sounds like what we're talking about here. I'd just like to point out that was a little excellent bit of parkour. Did you see that? Chat, did you see that? Did you see that? That little jump out of a 2-block space? I'm just really proud of that. I missed the part where that's my problem. Famous last words, Spidey. Yeah. If you download a separate launcher to avoid updating, say goodbye to any multiplayer at all. Oof. I have an extremely hot take about the Spider-Verse movies, which is that they're really pretty, but also based in True Coming Forever. You're so right. No, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. You're so right about that. Especially, I mean, especially what they did with like Spider-Gwen's world in Across the Spider-Verse. Gorgeous, incredible, amazing. Says Sashin, do it again. Yeah, I could probably manage to do it again. Okay, so ready? We're in this little 2-block space. Boom, got him. Bada bing, bada boom. I just think I've been putting in the work on that parkour, you know? Like, obviously I'm not gonna stand against the greats or anything, but like, hey, that right there, I think that shows improvement from the early days of Quimby parkour. That's all I'm saying. I have to make sure to pick up all the blocks. Clean, thank you. No, I'm genuinely really unreasonably proud of that. My opinion, Minecraft would have died without people making mods for the game. I don't necessarily agree. I definitely don't think it would have the incredible widespread popularity that it has. But you know, the sandbox style, you know, the build experience. I'm sure that there would still at least be some players, you know. Maybe not the huge major sensation that it is now, but you know, I don't think it would be entirely abandoned without mods. Because like I was perfectly happy with the vanilla experience for quite a long time until you all started yelling at me to you know, to get like Optifine or whatnot. So I just think that there'd always be people like me who'd just be happy to be playing a game. You know? Me when I pick up the copper. The copper picker-upper. Yeah, I really gotta fight some more guys at some point to get some durability for my axe. Oh, gosh darn it. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I'm just kind of looking today because my essay is due tonight, so I'm really busy playing Stardew Valley for the first time since 2021. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, relatable chatter Corvigay moment. No, oh, yeah. Oh, that hits. Yeah. Yeah, I've got something really big and important to be doing. So anyway, this is what I'm doing instead. Yeah. No, you're so right about that. Bedrock is meant to be the performance version of Minecraft that anything can run. Running Bedrock over halves my FPS from 150 to 40. Goodness, that's like 1/3. That's not ideal generally. Sorry, just jumping around because sometimes you gotta jump. Okay, I think let's tackle the staircase next, because I want to make sure I'm not gonna strand myself with being unable to get back up to the upper levels if I want to. Do I want to do this ring around the room next? Maybe. To be honest, I probably should have been doing the top bit. That's a future Quimby problem. Doing that top area, that's for future Quimby to worry about. Fighting for my life, yeah. Like 15 FPS, and I could only tell it wasn't that bad because of my FPS counter. Those jumps would give Bedrock lag spikes. Rip to Bedrock getting lag spikes. I would never lag on anything ever. I would never. They've designed me too well. I would never lag. I would never ever lag. They'd be like, "Hey Quimby, how's it going?" I'd be like, "I would never lag." And you'd best believe me on that, because it's true. I don't know exactly how I feel about having this just open up to the cave, but it's probably fine. Or at the very least, I can place those back so that it's just a 1-block gap. That should be fine. That's not an issue. Best start believing lagless Quimby. You better start believing. You know? If you don't believe, then I don't know what to tell you, because I'm just so perfectly optimized. Penny, you good? Cannibal, is that allowed? Cannibal, is that allowed? I would never lag if you tried to if you tried to fill the area with TNT. I would never. I would simply grit my teeth and make it happen with no lag. Real talk about the Quimby persona, you guys, because I've been having big thoughts on this. I think, okay, because you know I love a little lore. I love a little lore. I'm thinking about leaning harder into the being, an artificial being thing. Except doing it in a Vocaloid way, because I've been looking a lot at like Vocaloid, and not obviously nothing that would get them to to get real mad at me IP wise. I would never get into a lawsuit about IP infringement. I would never do that. I said Quimby persona. I was like, oh, I was not aware of this lore. I mean, there's Genetby. There's everyone. We had a discussion a while ago where we figured out that if I were to be a creature, I would be a Genet. Your journey to VTuber will be complete. Listen, VTuber is kind of based. Like, genuinely, VTubers really popped off with deciding to just be little guys. And I do greatly admire that and kind of want to emulate it in many ways myself. Cause the thing that I'm basically the no such night gal. I just gotta be very vocal about it. I get it, Mr. Luke. I just gotta be so like, no, but you don't get it. Cause been thinking about it, y'all. Just fun to watch the transformation. I mean, I think we all knew it was coming eventually. Been thinking about it. I really like the I'm a computer program thing. Big fan of that. Huge, incredible fan of that. but I don't like it necessarily being I feel like some of the ways I've described it in the early days of me like trying to figure that out lean a little more towards the like generative AI scheme of things, and I just big not huge fan of that. Don't really love the idea, you know. Kind of cringe actually if you ask me. Oh, hello. Oh, that's really interesting. So it's the I think it'd be that's not really the direction I want to take the persona, but the language used around it I think would make people think about that. Which is not what I personally am very interested in at this moment in time. So I think going harder into the already established lore of like the like Vocaloid age of like this is a oh gosh, this is it oxidized that fast. My goodness. Yeah, leaning into the already acceptable Vocaloid dynamic of just a little virtual guy who does stuff. I think sounds very appealing to me. Oh gosh, there's a bot. Hold on. Penny, you got there? Or do you want me to do that? I can do it. There we go. Oh no, Penny got it. Your bio is wrong then, Sush J. Oh no! Oh, the bio. Don't worry about the bio. That's no. I would don't worry about it at all. The 100% real lie. I got what you're talking about. But yeah, no, because I was like, man, how to be a little virtual creature guy, while not leaning into the to the oh boy generative AI craze, and just again, the more I look into it, the more I'm like, the answer is Vocaloid. Drug so laggy, I'm rubber banding in single player. Goodness gracious me. Maybe they should get good. How they considered. It is kind of wild that there's just this hidden line of copper running around everything. This is really interesting to me. Oh, that's just the void. Can't be having the void hanging around here. Hello, Ariana. I'm not doing the void voice. I'm oh gosh, I'm not doing the void voice right now. That would destroy my throat. And there goes Candybot telling me to drink some water. But yeah, no, I guess I'm not really necessarily doing anything about that right now. I just sort of, I guess, keeping you guys updated on my thoughts about many things. About many and various things. Sorry, I'm like, yeah, I think I want to get things more in like a VTube, or sorry, more like a Vocaloid VTuber sort of way. And my brain is just screaming at me like, just say you're jealous of Hatsune Miku, which admittedly I am. People really popped off with the whole Miku thing. I just think it's really funny. I got excited for it for a second. It's like a Saber Agent activation phrase from Elon. Hey, did you say the trial copper was legal for the cube or not? Short Spoon! Hi. I've decided that it's legal as long as I fully wax it. I always say wax. As long as I fully, scrape it. As long as we're fully straight up scraping. Cause the cube copper has to be fresh, you know? As HDMI carries so much power, because the hubris of humanity. Next question. Am I playing this right? But yes, hello. How you doing today, Shardspoon? We're also talking about how, we're also talking about how I want to be Hatsune Miku. Anyway. Listen, I just think people popped off so hard with her aesthetically. Just this, I don't know, she's just a little guy who people will just talk about as if she's like a real person. But she's definitely just a computer program, and that's the vibes. That's the vibes. That's exactly what I want with my life. I want oh gosh, it's you know, everyone comes here and we all pretend and we all pretend that, you know, we all pretend that Quimby's a real Twitch streamer, not just a computer program meant to imitate one, right? I didn't even fully plug in, it scraped the port and hit my hand and hurt like hell. Aww. Rip, Penny. Rip. It's been good trying to pick a lunch. Always a good question. Always gotta... We stay lunching, you know? I'm Cube Cult terms, it must be pure... Oh, sorry, in Cube Cult terms, it must be purified and sanctified. If not by fire, then by axe. Oh, that's pretty metal. I really like that, Mr. Malouk. Could totally be a purple Hatsune Miku. Yeah, see? No, I don't know, you guys. Cause you all know, I've talked about it so many times that my whole big thing about this all is that, I hate the idea of anything about, like, my online persona or, like, being connected to, like, my real IRL self. Cause I love streaming, I love talking with you guys, I love doing the, like, online thing, but I'm just such a little, I don't know, privacy king, I guess, I don't know, where it's not even I'm like, I'm not embarrassed of you guys or anything, I'm just, I don't know, I just think, can't we have fun on the internet and have it not be related at all to our normal everyday lives, I guess. It's like the, gosh darn, it's the Tumblr mentality again. It's let me just have like this space that that we get a bit silly with it and we have fun and stuff, but then like no one nothing about it connects back to like IRL events or like workplace stuff or anything. And that's a very Tumblr culture thing. Okay, no, wait, actually, sorry, I'm back to being insufferable again. Okay. If I have a lot of strong opinions about how Hatsune Miku has filled the modern role of an internet god in much the same way gods in the past were assigned to domains. Yeah! No, I 100% agree with that. She's really just basically like our little internet deity that we're just like, yeah, praise be to Hatsune Miku. Or we just talk about things and we're like, we talk about things and we're like, Miku be willing. It is pretty metal. Copper is gorgeous. That's so true. Copper is so pretty. One of the reasons that I think I'm not so exhausted with copper, with, you know, making the whole cube and stuff, is that copper just very pretty. I want to talk about privacy, Chuckles. Uh-oh. With today's sponsor, Raid Shadow VPN. Wish more internet places had that privacy mentality. Yeah, no, it's, I get really upset at the thought of, like, employers asking about online activities, I guess, where I don't know, I'm a big fan of internet anonymity. And I'll lampshade this by saying that I recognize that the anonymity of the internet is often used as a tool to allow for, you know, for harm and hate speech and stuff. I don't love that part. Big unenjoyer of that necessarily. But you know, I just think, I don't know, why if I'm just on the internet to look at memes and be a silly goofy little guy or something, why is it anyone's business IRL what I'm doing here, right? For like even with the modern trend of drawing her being from different cultures, that's actual behavior we can see in deities in the past. Yeah. No, she's just she's a prolific symbol of the internet that that is, you know, has lore, has you know, like mythology kind of being built up around her, certain like you know, kind of domains with things with different Vocaloids, but then everyone just kind of like knows and mostly respects her. So I'm rambling a little bit on this because I just really like the idea of Miku as an internet god. Really big fan of that. You know, like and that's the sort of mindset that I know it's really unusual to bring that to Twitch.tv, because this is the sharing private information, like sharing personal information gets you attention and engagement website. This is the sell your soul for financial success website. So I know that's really strange to bring that very strong like privacy commitment to this space, but I just think why should it be so unusual that someone would want to, you know, would want to entertain and be a silly, goofy little guy, talk to people on the internet, have a great time of it, but then just do it completely anonymously, you know? I think why can't we just be... We used to be a country. Sorry. That's my favorite little thing to say now. I think that's my first time seeing her in that NGL. Yeah, because I see like kids and stuff, like telling like personal private details of their lives here, and it's just like, don't you know that that's gonna stick around forever? Like I don't even hear, like I post my VODs on YouTube, like no one really like necessarily watches them. They're just sort of mostly there for me. But like if I say something about my life there, that's gonna be on the internet forever. And we love to get a bit silly with it, but in the modern day and age, I just feel like, you know, it's not really safe to put that much of yourself out there. And so in that line of thought, I very much love the idea of being a you know, just a piece of the internet, just a thing where people will, you know, go online and I don't know, and Quimby like performs for a little bit, entertains a bit, much in the way that Hatsune Miku will perform for a little bit and stuff, and then we have a great time with that, and then you know, the program goes offline for a little bit, and would you look at that, there's the guess there's that then, just you know, just disappearing into the ether until the next time. She's love, she is life. Their pronouns are she, her. Miku or Miku or what? You know, that's so that's why I think that the idea of what Hatsune Miku is doing, the idea of the of leaning further into the like Vocaloid style lore is very appealing to me. Cause that hits on a lot of the buttons that I want from a persona, where it's just, you know, very much just a creature that belongs to the net. The people, no correlation with necessarily an actual real world person. Now there is an actual voice of Hatsune Miku. There's an actress who you know, who provides the voice banks and whatnot, but but it's not really like Miku the internet god. Ah, yes indeed. But no one really necessarily is taking that stuff that goes on with Miku into the life of the voice actor, right? That's I don't know, to be honest. I don't know a lot about the person who provides the voice for Hatsune Miku. I don't even remember her name off the top of my head. And that's very appealing to me. Just, yeah, like sure, like the me in my IRL life being essentially the just the voice provider for whatever Quimby's got going on is very appealing. Cause that, I don't want this to be my life necessarily. I again, love you guys, love to do this. I don't want it to be my life. I want to have other things going on. I don't want to be sucked into the I don't know, into the content creator regime. I just want to be a silly, goofy little guy sometimes. I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little bit too introspective for it at this point in a Twitch stream, but I don't know. I love to entertain, but also I don't want this to be the end-all be-all of everything that I'm doing. Where was that thought leading? Where did that thought come from? What's the way back home from where we've gone? Oh, you know, let's talk about Hatsune Miku. Let's I mean, we may as well at this point, right? She's already been brought up in the conversation. I'm a big fan of the trend that that's been going on recently with drawing her with different like cultures and backgrounds and everything. Big, huge fan of that. I think it's so delightful. You don't want to go into Minecraft streamer to music career pipeline? Oh gosh. Can you believe that is a real pipeline? Like no tea, no shade to anyone who's made it successfully with that, but I just can't believe that we live in a world where those are words that we can say genuinely as a known phenomenon. That's so wild to me. But no, I do not wish to go into the Minecraft streamer to music career pipeline. You know, all love to people who are making it out there, but you know, I think I'm good actually. No, but the Hatsune Miku trend, it's so delightful. I've seen like I think my favorite part of it that I've seen is having Miku's pigtails be part of like a hijab or headscarf. I think that's such a clever way to do it. Of, you know, keeping the design principles while you know, not compromising for culture. Oh gosh, I've got a sociology degree, and I think it's a really fun and inclusive way to be handling, where it's like oh my gosh, Miku is just like Spider-Man. Anyone could be Hatsune Miku. That's what we're learning with this current trend that we've got going on, where anyone can see themselves in her. I've got a sociology degree. No, but yeah, I think it's really fun to take this this internet god, this pop phenomenon, this being that has come to embody so much of what the internet is, and yeah, just saying, sure, her canon design is this way, but yeah, she could fit into anywhere. She could look like anyone. She could be anyone. Everyone, like, it's not a sin to aspire to be like Hatsune Miku, because Hatsune Miku is like us all. Oh gosh, now we're getting into the philosophy of it. Bingo. So that's how it all started. It all started somewhere. I don't know. Probably with Hatsune Miku, to be honest. I think she made Minecraft actually. Is stories that I've heard. So, you know, full circle, we stay circling. I've also, I've been getting a little more into Vocaloid music currently in general, mostly because I've been working a lot on chainmail projects, and to appropriately, like, zone out to be able to do just the immense amount of, like, openings and closures that I need on, like, on a chainmail piece. I need something to occupy the higher centers of my brain. And it turns out that Vocaloid music does a really good job of filling that niche, because a lot of it is just very high energy, powerful, and it's got a lot of interesting sounds. The backgrounds are usually very full, you know, enough to keep my mind, like, I don't know, there's a lot of things to notice, a lot of things to look at, but I don't have to do it necessarily consciously. Goddess of music in Minecraft? Goddess of music in Minecraft, what can I say? I'm thinking about little computer program Climpy with a picture of Miku taped inside of the mainframe. Oh, I love that! Oh, that's... Oh, I love that mental image. Oh, I love that. Little computer program Quimby just like that's my hero right there. Someday I'm gonna meet her. Oh no, I've actually got a whole thing about like never meeting your heroes. So I would, even if I could meet Hatsune Miku, I probably never would. Because I think it's much better to let gods remain in the sky than to try to bring them down to earth. But yeah, now I feel like I need to get myself like a little printout of Hatsune Miku to just put like, to put next to my computer, just like, that's her, that's her. Here, I'm gonna drink some water. That's the only way I can get mine. Yeah, Goddess of Music in Minecraft. That's Hatsune Miku. She giveth and she taketh away. I don't know. She provides. Do I have a spare axe in my toolbox? I might. And I think that I would need it soon because, well, maybe not soon, but perhaps at some point. Oh gosh. Are they gonna be sending more guys after me soon? Yeah, they're gonna be sending more guys after me. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess we can get a little XP for my axe, just simply as a treat. Come here. Alright, next. Oh, nope, that was it. I've gotten myself a trial key. I mean, I should probably go up to that one. I really... honestly, yeah, getting a bit more durability for my axe at this point is not a bad idea. I'm feeling like so I don't know, so like not necessarily emotional isn't necessarily the word I'm looking for, but the idea of Miku just like as this little internet god is it's filling me with warm fuzzy feelings, shall we say. I'm quite enjoying that, in fact. Get another key, I see. Okay. Well, that got us a little bit of durability. That got us like 100, I think. Something like that. And it's not really dire yet on durability. And I can't say I'm almost done with this room because I still have 2 difficult sections to do. And that's definitely for sure gonna take a while. But by bulk, you know, by how much waxing there is to do, you know, just by volume, then we've done most of it. You know, cause sorry, just Hatsune Miku as the god of the internet just makes so much sense, and it's so delightful, and I really like that. Oh, I remember where the thought was going. Okay, yeah. So I've been listening to a lot of Vocaloid music, with working on a bunch of chainmail recently. I seriously, I'll just turn on like early era Vocaloid playlists and then just go on doing the chainmail. And just in the background, you know, there'll be these guys singing in my ear. The real big appreciator of guys just singing in my ear like that. You know, it's really kind of them to take the time to do a little private concert for me like that. I should probably start picking some of this up soon, but I'll do that in just a sec. And it's really good, you know. Definitely, I don't think the style is for everyone. Some of my friends have started doing this thing where they like listen to a ton of music albums and talk about them. And I can definitely tell that for many of them, the Vocaloid genre may not necessarily be for them. And it's not always for me, to be honest. I think if I'm like, I don't know, trying to focus or something, I don't think Vocaloid would be the way for me to go on that, because it's very high energy. There's a lot going on in it, which is fantastic for when I need the blank thoughts, but you know. So Vocaloid isn't for everyone, but I personally have been appreciating. I've been thinking a lot about like Vocaloid lore and stuff, because okay, so there's this fun little phenomenon that I found where people would be making like little storylines with their Vocaloid songs that they were creating. They would have like they would assign different Vocaloids to different character roles, and then you know they'd write songs that would tell these stories. There's one in particular that I've not looked into, because I think it would drive me insane trying to parse the trying to parse all the particulars of it. But kind of suffice to say, it's this big long story about like this kingdom, and there's like villains and a guy who gets killed for trying to help the daughter of the daughter of the evil guy, and it's very emotional, big long, and I'll read like little comments by people who are invested in these stories, and it sounds like there's like huge sections of lore. I'm gonna come back to this really quick. I've realized that if I go fight a bunch of the spawners right now, then they will have time to regenerate for later. So I'm just gonna go intentionally trigger some spawners so that I can get axe durability, because I'm about half durability right now, and that's real spooky. I don't like when my tools get that low. But it's really, I love when people will just do little collaborative storytelling and things like that, or where they'll just, I don't know, have an idea and they'll be so creative with it and so invested in making something cool. I don't know, I think it's very human to want to tell stories with whatever medium we've got, and writing out these storylines it's so incredibly human of them to do. Or oh gosh, there's I don't know enough about these projects to be able to like describe all of them in detail, or even necessarily remember like the names or what they're about per se. But like I've just stumbled upon some of the songs from a few of these storylines, and people are so invested in it, and that's just beautiful to me. I think there's this one where these kids who have like, I don't know, a connection to like a demon realm or something, and the song is about like their adoptive older sister who like sacrifices herself to save them or something, and I'm just sort of vibing along. I'm just, you know, I'm just here, you know, listening to my Vocaloid playlist while I work on projects and whatnot. But it's fun to see the way that people will engage with it, and how different their experience with it is from like necessarily my own. I don't know, listen, if there's one thing about me, it's that I've got big thoughts and feelings about storytelling and the ways that people will do that and engage with it. So, you know. Okay, I don't want you guys to be killing each other, because I want to be getting the XP for it. So if you all could stop shooting each other, that would be much appreciated. Let me fight you. Don't fight each other. Normally I love when mobs fight each other. Normally I'm a big fan. But don't do that. Because I need the XP. It really is awfully convenient. You know, okay, well, awfully convenient that there's so many spawners available for me to just farm mobs from. Bread. Okay, let's chase down. I'm pretty sure there's a couple other spawners in here. Because the goal is just get my axe back up to a reasonable durability. And then we will return to our regularly scheduled copper scraping content. Regen potion, not super, I don't super need it. Hello there, you! Trial spawner. Do you wish to give me some skeletons to fight? Please and thank you. Just keep sending them out and I just keep knocking them down. I've got all these vault keys at this point. I should probably find something to do with them. Look, there's just there's a key over here. I gotta get it. Yeah, sure, all right. I'll drop a key in the vault. May as well. Ooh, emeralds and ominous potion aren't bad, actually. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna complicate things with my inventory. But that should be fine. Okay, axe is durability'd up again. I feel comfortable going back to the other room at this point. Okay. Alright, we've still got a lot to do. We've still got a lot to do here. Namely the wall sections. Yeah, give me just a sec. You know, I would say that my favorite part of tangentially experiencing the Vocaloid community through just listening to it while I work is I think that it's really, really fun to see how this is so important. Like, this was so important to people. They put so much time and effort and energy into all of this. I definitely have a bottle with Bad Omen already. Sorry, box with Bad Omen bottles. There we go. It's really fun to see how this is so important to so many people and how they've invested so much time and dedication and effort into making these things, or even just being people who are fans of what these creators are doing. Like, genuinely, okay, I'm gonna get a bit sappy here, but I think that one of the coolest things about humanity is how hyped up we get about the creative works of other people. Creative works, or even just, I don't know, like, entertaining things. Like, people are just regular people are the ones making these Vocaloid songs. Or to take a more personal example, just regular people are the ones who are going live on twitch.tv. And it is fascinating to me that, like, that's something that people will invest in, you know? People will become fans of just other people streaming on twitch.tv. I've experienced it myself. I've people who come on every day or like every couple of days to come talk to me here. That's insane. That just, I don't know, regular normal humans can do things that other people will be so interested and involved in. And I think that's beautiful, dare I say. That we get so hyped about the things that other people are doing. It makes sense for like big, you know, like big studios and stuff who have like budget and, you know, have like a, you know, I don't know, people who dedicate their lives to creativity. That's cool and all. But I don't know, regular people can do it too, and that is the magic of things like Vocaloid series or I don't know, Twitch streamers and whatnot. You know, maybe it's not gonna be huge per se. Maybe, you know, like I personally am never expecting to like make a career out of this. I don't think I'd even want to, as we've discussed earlier. But I don't know. People can get so invested in that, and that's really so cool to me. So cool, and to be honest, a little bit emotional sometimes. It's just like, if there's one thing about humanity, it's that, I don't know. We can get so invested in even very small things. Oh gosh, I gotta stop waxing philosophical about that, or I am gonna start just gushing about you all again, which, don't get me wrong, I love to do, but, you know, don't wanna become a broken record here. Instead, I'll fail at parkour. How does that sound? Let me, I will now sing to you the song of my people. Oh! Hey, oh, okay, that was... Okay, so we actually got him. That was pretty neat. I don't know, I've got big thoughts about the human drive to create, and how that relates to the human drive to seek community. I just think I've got a sociology degree. I just think it's cool how community forms and the things that they'll form about, and I'm particularly interested in the concept of group dynamics in Sentinels. Let's pivot this to something that I could actually talk intelligently about, instead of, you know, just blabbering on like a silly little lovesick fool. I don't know. I love the concept of Sentinels. Not the X-Men Sentinels that are there to hunt down mutants. We're not talking about that. A Sentinel is a group leader's second, usually. A Sentinel doesn't have to be the second, but a Sentinel is someone that helps the leader of a group to maintain the group, whether that's the group's cultural values, whether that's like disciplinary action within the group or whatever. The Sentinel is there to support the leader's power. And the funky thing about Sentinels is that it's very possible to have groups without them. I don't know, I'm failing on this jump in particular so much, don't worry about it. The thing about Sentinels, it is possible to have groups without them, but groups are often a lot more successful with them. Where what gives a leader power? What gives a person that weight that makes other people follow them? And a lot of that comes down to the leader themselves. You know, can they prove that they make good decisions? Can they show interest in the well-being of the group in a way that encourages other people to follow them? Can they talk in a way that inspires other people to want to listen? And all of those things are all well and good, but humans are at their core pack animals, which means that the most powerful way to get someone else to follow someone is to have oh gosh, that sentence isn't gonna make sense. That has entirely too many descriptor words in it. One of the best ways for a leader to demonstrate power is to have someone already follow them, because that tells our little human pack brain minds, oh, this is an established group. This is, you know, there's already standards and expectations here. I feel like there's something going on with that jump, because I've been making all the rest of my jumps so easily, but this one in particular. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on! Okay. And that is the role that the Sentinel often holds, is to show by example. You know, the leader says something and the Sentinel does it. That communicates to everyone else in the group, yeah, you want to listen to this person. The Sentinel will even often will say words to encourage other people to follow the leader. That can be things like I don't know, group leader says, hey, we're gonna do this now, and if the group dissents, then the Sentinel's like, what the heck, guys, the leader said this, so we're doing it. That is an example of Sentinel behavior. And most people will just do it without even thinking, you know? People are out here like like, yeah, there's this group that I've joined and am a part of, and the leader really needs a sentinel, so I'm gonna start doing it. No, people will just do that. People will just look at a group dynamic and be like, it seems as though some I don't know, it seems as though this leader is having trouble getting people to listen to them. I listen to them, so I'm going to make sure that other people listen to them as well. It's really, really fascinating to me. And I don't know, I love that concept that good leadership, like there's a lot of things about good leadership out there. There's a lot of people who like to talk about leaders and what qualities make a good leader and how to become a good leader and all that is fantastic. But I feel like we don't talk a lot about how to be a good second. And that's something that's particularly interesting to me because that's a role that I like to take up a lot of times as well. I like to operate as a sentinel because I don't know, I do like to make decisions, and I do absolutely enjoy being in roles where I can make the decisions. That's very I like being in charge sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. But like just particularly someone, wow, I should get good about my jumps. As particularly as someone who like has started to see and recognize these behaviors, as you know, just as someone who like first of all knows what a sentinel is, but then also as someone who like studies group behavior. It's really fun to watch it in action. Yeah, we talk so much about good leaders and how to become a good leader and whatnot. I feel like oftentimes there is a lack of resources on how to be a good supportive follower in a group, how to support a leader's decisions and help them to regulate that. Where was I going with this? Oh, that's actually a role that like mods will often play in streams and stuff, where the mods are given power in a way that that helps a lot with like regulating group behavior, but like mods following streamer expectations and like listening to what they say goes a long ways in determining chat behavior. That's one of the reasons that I think it can be so important to have like, you know, particularly for smaller streamers, to have a group of like regulars or like mods or whatnot who know the rules and are willing to like listen to the streamer on them, because setting that culture in the stream can be so difficult if you're just a streamer trying to wrangle other people. Because let's be honest, Twitch chats get a bit silly with it. That's just a natural part of Twitch chats. And sure, streamers do technically have a lot of power over like who can be in streams and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily translate to being able to determine culture well, because culture is almost entirely out of a person's hands for the most part. Oh gosh, I would explain. No, because it's not entirely out of a person's hands. You can absolutely like, you can make things that try to attract certain peoples. You can set expectations in a channel. You can set you can set expectations that if you break the rules, certain things will happen. All that relates to culture. That's the thing that you can do here. I'm gonna drink some water because water is very tasty. All that is things that streamers do have control over. But what they don't necessarily have control over is the tone of chat, the types of messages that people will like say and leave. And that's something that is entirely up to the people in the stream. And again, you can do a whole ton of stuff to try to attract people that will have a chat culture that you vibe with. But you know, when it just comes down to the actual like nitty gritty of it, people talking in chat, a lot of that is determined by the people who are already in there, and that's so interesting to me. That I don't know. Everyone knows the importance of good mods as far as it comes to like wrangling chat and making sure that like the rules are being followed. But I don't think we talk enough about sorry to interrupt my duty though. Bye. Yep. Bye, Shardsoon. Thank you for stopping by. See you later. But I don't think we talk enough about how important mods are to the chat experience. How mods, or even just like stream regulars, are such a big part of what makes like a Twitch channel interesting. Like, I know around here that a lot of the appeal for a lot of you guys is being able to show up and talk with the other people in chat. Now, I love to entertain, don't get me wrong, and I'd like to think that I do a decent job of it, but it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge the role that you all play in making this an interesting space for newcomers, for the, for the people who have been in chat for a while. The reason that, if it was just me talking to myself the entire time, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think as many people would stay around for as long as they have. I'm lovely, but chat is a huge appeal around here, and I'll let you guys know, I am aware of that. I think about that a lot, and I'm very grateful that you guys make this such a good, enjoyable experience. But then it's also like, how do I then my job as a streamer and as a community leader in this way is, how do we maintain that standard? How do we encourage that sort of behavior from people who might be coming into the stream for the first time? How do we communicate to people who don't know the rules, what the sort of rules of engagement are around here? And there's like basic stuff that can be communicated pretty easily, like disciplinary rule things. I've got my chat rules that everyone has to technically agree to before they can chat in the stream. There's all of that, and that's all great, to be honest. But how do we communicate things like running jokes? How do we communicate things like the constant and huge amount of like chat lore that happens around here? And I will say that one thing that I've loved to see from you guys is how inclusive you are to newcomers with all of that. When people when new people will come in, I've seen a lot of people make a great effort to like include them in on the little inside jokes on here to explain what's happening or why we're talking about certain things a certain way, and that is you guys acting as sentinels for me. Do you see? It all kind of connects there, where I've got a lot of things that I can do around here, but certain community building actions are entirely out of my reach because leaders can't and shouldn't control everything. That would be, that'd be real cringe and not a good time for anyone. But like, in having like chat regulars who are invested in the culture around here, that gives me such a huge leg up when it comes to that kind of stuff, because it means that I don't have to be doing all of that myself, and it adds an extra appeal in that it's not just me. I'm rambling at this point. I'm circling back in on myself. But suffice to say that I think that I think that sort of as a Twitch community, we should do a better job of recognizing how chat regulars and mods do such important work in community building and making enjoyable experiences for everyone. I'm sappy about it. What can I say? I think it's so cool. I'm really grateful that you guys do that, because can you believe that okay, admittedly I'm 3 years in that at this point, but that's not a huge amount of time, but just that like it's wild to me that I haven't even asked it of most of you guys. There are people who are designated mods and stuff, but most of the community building sentinel work is done just entirely voluntarily, and without, I think, without even us necessarily describing and discussing what a sentinel is. Like, I think I might have talked about sentinels before on stream, but most people will, it's like I talked about, people will just naturally do it. That's just a thing that people will pick up, is you know, is how to be a sentinel for a leader and for a community. I think I've said most of what I actually have to say on the subject at this point. I think I am just circling. But it's neat to me. It's really neat, and I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of especially how we do it around here, because I think we've got a good gig going on. I say sometimes that learning about sociology is like gaining true sight, except into human interaction. Like, I'm not gonna be able to like look at a person and immediately profile them or anything. I'm not a wizard, and I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or anything. But it's the group behaviors. I can see how certain group behaviors affect, like, I don't know, experiences and standards and yada yada whatnot. And most of the time I just keep it to myself, because it is admittedly me being a nerd. Me being a nerd about having a degree. But sometimes I just gotta let you guys know, because I just think it's a cool subject, and I think that we should talk about it more. Okay. I will say, trial chamber copper method. Definitively, admittedly faster than just mining. I do still want to do. I do still think that mining is going to be a large part of my cube copper collecting process. I don't ever see that going away. Like, this is a lot of copper so far, and I am scheduled to get so much more than this. There's a whole bunch of chambers that we haven't even touched. But definitely, I don't think that just doing... I found, like, what, 4 trial chambers? I don't think that the copper from 4 trial chambers is going to, like, finish off the cube or anything. Certainly, I could see it being a lot. But I've got a whole ton of shulker boxes, and getting like 27 shulker boxes worth is about 1/10 of the whole process. See, I don't think we gotta worry about mining streams going away anytime soon. But it is nice to it's nice to have this faster collection method, because as we've discussed, I am still about halfway done with the cube. I've been playing in this world for about a year, longer than I've died in it. And I do want to move on to something else at some point. I'm just about done with the Great Hall. It's mostly the cube at this point that's holding me to this world. You know, at some point we gotta let Alive be, we gotta let Alive be rest, you know? At some point we gotta let him, I don't know. I was gonna say let him die, but Alive Bee's already dead. Just want to make sure I'm remembering to wax all the things. At some point, Alive Bee's gotta be put to rest once and for all. Let's say that. The unfinished business will be finished, and I'll be able to, I don't know, find new purpose in my life. I don't know what's gonna happen when we're done with Ghost Bee. I'd like to do something. I'd like to have something prepared for it at the time, but so far we're not quite to the point where I feel that that I need to know exactly what's gonna happen to Ghost Bee. These little hidden copper areas are so interesting to me. I've listened to people be nerds. The streamer plays video essays. Yo, I'm such a nerd. I replaced video essays. Back. Did I get properly yoked? Oh my gosh, you didn't. I'm so sorry. I didn't even notice. Shardsman, I'm gonna yeet you now. I'm gonna yeet you right now. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Get absolutely timed out, nerd. Also drinking some water because we gotta stay on our hydration. I'm glad that you guys listening to me being a nerd, because I do just absolutely go live on twitch.tv and be a nerd for like 2 hours. That's kind of the MO. It's nice to hear that that's working out. Yeah, these little hidden copper sections, so interesting. And Lord, thank you for a Rickroll. Very cool, very pog. Very neat. We're really getting up there with those Rickrolls. Like we're getting close to halfway. I'll put out there right now that if we complete the cube and I move on from this world before the Rickrolls are completed, I will be I will just log back on to finish with the QR code scanning. That was all goodbye, Caps. Gotta love games that require Caps as the main key. Fun times. Well, thank you for lurking, Lord. It's been lovely for having you. I don't know, just hanging in the background. And yeah, good luck. Good luck with what you've got going. Oh my gosh, already? Okay, come here. I guess it wouldn't hurt to do a little more, to get a little more durability for my axe at this point. I should put on my shield. Come here. Stop it. Okay. There's water here. Wilden. Also, more scallop tims and more breezes. Here, you little punk. Okay. Transponder open, so that one's been completed. Yeah, sure. I'll go check it out. I'll go check it out. It was bread. Gonna do the lick. Yep. See you, Lord. There's still a couple scallop tims doing their thing. Can you believe? Oh man, sorry. Just can you believe I started streaming on Twitch.tv to you know, give me an info dump space where you guys just have to listen to what's happening. Obviously, you don't have to listen, but I really just said, it's info dump space time. I'm just gonna info dump about things constantly, and then people are going to listen to it. And that's what I said. Gosh, I gotta get up there. Yeah, goodness, this is a whole ordeal. I should take off my shield now. Okay, I'm back. I had to reload though. First time in the slammer, very interesting. Yeah, how was that? How was your time in the slammer? I hope the accommodations were sufficient. I would hate to be an impolite jailer. You know, gotta we have a reputation to maintain. I'm sure you understand. I've now gotta get all this stuff waxed. It's always I'm a little fascinated, honestly, with the with Twitch chat's obsession with being timed out. It really it doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna be quite perfectly frankly honest. I'm such a polite young man. I would never. I'm always like, I'd be like, I'm being timed out. This is so sad. I'd be distraught, honestly. But then around here, everyone's always like, yeah, oh boy, time to get timed out. And I'm like, what? What in the huh? What in the what? What? Don't think I'll be a frequent visitor, but I had a good time. Nice selection of snacks. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I didn't even know they had snacks out there. I should really, honestly, I should be keeping better track of what happens in the slammer, you know. Imagine if horrible, awful things were going on and I didn't know. That'd be so irresponsible of me. Yeah, so, There's so much copper in this thing. I'm gonna have to do the walls and stuff in here. But I think that the wall areas can be a future Quimby problem. I think that I can, it's like when your parents get pretend mad at you. And you're versus for real mad. Okay. So we're hold on. Gotta go fight a trial spawner really quick. So it's like boundary pushing to make sure that this space is safe. So that we're like getting a bit silly with it, so that we know how it all goes with that. So again, me just being so incredibly polite. Oh no, I can't believe I'm in trouble. This is so sad. I can't believe you would be in trouble. This is so unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Very interesting to think about what this place is going to look like when it's entirely stripped of the of the coppers. Yeah, let's do to like right there on our first run. Microdosing on being a real punk. Ooh, oh man, those punk Twitch chatters. I was out here breaking the rules and getting timed out. Oh man. Honest to goodness, the song from West Side Story just started playing in my head, Officer Krupke. But specifically the one part where the guy's like, Officer Krupke, you've done it again! This boy don't need a job, he needs a year in the pen! I really like that part. Just you know, because everyone's having a good time in the scene. Everyone's you know, getting into it. They're doing their little play. You know, they're silly, goofy little guys. And then that guy just committed so hard to the bit. And that guy really said, "All right, I'm just gonna be the most ever, the most ever guy pretending to be a oh gosh, is it a social worker? Is that one then, or he's just gonna be the most ever. Like I don't know what to tell you. Just simply the most ever." Officer Krupke was down on her knees. Oh, and there goes Candybot telling me to drink some water. Alright, Candybot, just for you. Just because of the special relationship that the two of us have, Candybot. Alright, you little scamp. Alright, water consumed. Doing the underwater section is gonna be interesting, because I do want to do the underwater section because I want all of the copper, you know. Getting copper is gonna, I tend to be in favor, as it were. Most of it is not underwater. Fun little fact about you. Only seen West Side Story once, so I couldn't really say. It's not my favorite musical in the whole world. You know, it's like, it's fine. It's got some fun songs. It's got some good moments and stuff. But to be honest, like, I don't know. I'm just not a huge Romeo and Juliet girly. I can appreciate I can appreciate for what it is most of the time. But you know, you know. And if I recall correctly, West Side Story doesn't have them die in the end, I think. Unless it does. I've not seen West Side Story enough times to really be sure about that, but so I'm not the hugest West Side Story fan in the world per se. But it's a classic, and you know, you gotta study the classics every once in a while. It was, you know, a musical that made a big name. Sang a couple songs from it in choir, actually, when, you know, because sometimes my choir teacher would have us sing songs from musicals, and you know, West Side Story is obviously a very classic, famous one. So yeah, I respect it. I respect the musical. Not my most favorite, but I respect it. I think that I think I can give it the good old nod and say, good for you. Romeo definitely dies. Unsure about Juliet. Does he die? Interesting. I did not remember that bit. Maybe I just didn't care enough about the Romeo character to really remember whether he died or not. That does sound like me, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely 100% sounds like a thing. My, cause, okay, I sort of ping-ponged back and forth on this one particular thing with Romeo and Juliet, and it's particularly, fix-its. I'm not a fix-it hater of most things in general. I think if you want to live in a world where things aren't awful, you know, more power to you. You can do whatever you want. Let me look up, actually. Yes, please. Actually, I would love to know. Yes, I'm not a fix-it hater. I know that there's been some discourse about fix-it sort of in the past. But Romeo and Juliet in particular is one that always gets me with fix-its, at the very least, where, you know, people will be like, oh, well, but they could still be, they could have been happy if only this. I don't, oh man, I can't believe the original story did this, and so that they end up with about it. It's a tragedy. I have strong feelings about Romeo and Juliet and the erasure of it being a tragedy, because the point of Romeo and Juliet is not that it is a romantic story. It's not that, you know, it's a tragedy, you know? For goodness sake, the whole point is that they die terribly in the end, and it was entirely avoidable, and it's a way for us to experience catharsis and to you know, make us think about our lives and consider the ways in which we might fall into the traps of the tragedy and all that. So I've got so I've definitely I've got big thoughts there. I don't like when people reduce it to just, well, if they, well, let's find a happy ending to this, because they're not supposed to get a happy ending. It's a tragedy. But you know, I think the if only bits of tragedies are my favorite bits. Yeah, because it's like, oh man. Oh man, really it could have gone a different way, but also it never could have gone a different way because these people are the way that they are. They were dumb kids, and it very well probably wouldn't have worked out for them, but they should have been able to make silly childish mistakes that their families hate, literally killing them. It's about what we do to the youth. It's about what we do to the youth! It's about how, oh man. Yeah, it's about how, like, okay, so, Romeo and Juliet is one of the only stories that I can, regularly think about having a denouement, which that is spelled D-E-N-O-U-M-E-N-T, and it is it's a term in story writing. If you guys took an English class in the American school system, I don't know where they teach it. I don't know if they teach it elsewhere necessarily. But if you take a class in the American school system, an English class, invariably they'll end up teaching you about the plot structure little chart thing that they give you. It's like it's a bunch of little angles and talks about like exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action, conclusion. But the secret 7th part of that is the denouement. And I always feel like I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, and I very well may be. It looks like Tony gets shot and Maria grieves over him but doesn't die herself. Cringe. Commit to the bit. Kill her. Commit to the bit. Have her drink a potion that brings her close unto death. Like unto death, in fact. That's what I'm looking for here. That's what I'm looking from my potions, is like unto death. But so the denouement is the secret 7th step to the plot structure, little pyramid, and that is its conclusion, but in sort of like a wider kind of how to describe. I need to look up the definition of this to be able to describe it properly. Denouement. Oh no, there's an E in there that I'm missing. D-E-N-O-U-E-M-E-N-T. It's the final part of a play, movie, or narrative in which the strands of the plot are drawn together and matters are explained or evolved. It's like the it's not just the conclusion of the story, it's the completion, kind of. And Romeo and Juliet is one of the only stories that I can reliably point to as having one of those, because Romeo and Juliet die. You know, there's the whole thing where they both end up killing each other over each other's deaths, like killing themselves over each other's deaths. It's a whole thing. But then so the conclusion, if we follow the okay, so let's sorry, I've got a lot of thoughts about story structure and plot and stuff. In the classical Little Pyramid, if we want to analyze a plot structure storyline, the climax and the resolution should be directly related to the inciting incident. That's how you know that it is the conclusion of the plot, because it directly it directly resolves that what was caused by the inciting incident. The inciting incident in Romeo and Juliet, as far as I recall, is them meeting and falling in love. So therefore, by that logic, climax and resolution is them both dying, and they're dead now. The denouement of the story takes it a step further, because their families build a statue to commemorate them. And that's not an unusual thing. It's not an unusual detail to include in the story. I'm not saying that it's unusual because it's wrong somehow in any way, but also it's not directly tied to what we've been studying as the main plot here. It's not directly related to the inciting incident. How does building a statue correlate to these two characters meeting and falling in love? The denouement is the conclusion of the tale itself, of the story. It's like the emotional conclusion of all of it. Then their family's building the statue and putting their feud aside is the finishing of the story, not of the plot. Which is, I just think denouement is it's a really fun concept, but but it existing as that is, I think it ties into the whole, like, they should have been able to do these things without their families' feud getting in the way and ending up and resulting in their deaths. The fact that the ending of the story is not related to the plot of the story necessarily, of the plot structure line that we could follow, I think that says something. You know, I think that it's a really interesting idea that that the story can't be finished until the thing that sort of caused the conflict in the first place, in a weird way, is done. I don't know. I've got lots of storytelling thoughts about many and various things. Also, I'm going to drink some water because staying hydrated is a good idea. See, I'm not a Romeo and Juliet hater by any stretch of the word. I really respect it for what it does. I think it's got some fun, narrative things, plot devices, and I will say, in one of my favorite books ever, The Wednesday Wars, which is sort of how there's a lot going on with The Wednesday Wars, but the best way to explain it in a way that will make sense here is that there's this kid, and he and reading Shakespeare during a year of his life during the Vietnam War helps him to understand his world and what's going on around him. That's kind of there's a lot more to it. But at a certain point, he starts reading a Shakespeare play every month, and the events of that Shakespeare play help him to recontextualize what's happening in his world, and like in the middle of the Vietnam War, and all these things that are happening to him, and family drama, and how the political landscape of the United States is changing. It's, first of all, I would really recommend The Wednesday Wars if you've never read it. It won the Newbery Honor in 2008, I think. The book came out in 2007, so I imagine it'd be like 2008 that it won the honor. Fantastic, incredible, amazing book that actually has genuinely helped me a lot in my understanding of the world that we live in, particularly as it pertains to like living in a safe environment while there's an active war going on elsewhere in the world. The Wednesday Wars has really been fantastic for helping me to like contextualize that and understand my feelings on the subject, because there's a lot of parallels between a lot of modern experiences and the Vietnam War, I would say, in that sort of way. Really, really fantastic, amazing book. The writing is impeccable. The themes that they tackle are really, really interesting and are explored in a really human and emotional way. But the Romeo and Juliet chapter of The Wednesday Wars is really good. I don't wanna talk too much about it because that would be spoilers for the book. And I would never spoil things for you guys ever. But the Romeo and Juliet chapter is really absolutely fantastic, and affects a lot of my interpretation of the story as well. I can give you guys a little bit of a context with it. There are two rival architecture firms in the town, and Holling, who's the main character's dad, owns one of them, and one of his friends from school's dad owns the other one. And yeah, Romeo and Juliet ends up being very, very important for those two, shall we say. I really like the sound that these doors make. It's a good sound. It's a good sound, Your Honor. Oh man, The Wednesday Wars is so good. It's one of those things where I want to talk about it, but if I talk about it, it's gonna... I guess I can give you guys I can talk more about the premise of the story, you know. That's not spoilers. The year is, I believe, 1967. It's either that or 1968, one of those two. And there's this kid named Holling Hood, who lives in New York. Not in New York City, but like, you know, kind of in the suburbs, sort of area, a close, like, related town. It's the middle of the Vietnam War. You know, the world is in turmoil. It's a huge time of change. Lyndon B. Johnson is the president of the United States. And in Holling's town, most of the town is either Catholic or Jewish, and so that means that on Wednesdays, both the Catholic kids and the Jewish kids will go off to do like religious lessons, you know, the catechism or like Torah studies. And Holling is I don't remember the specific denomination, but he's a Protestant of some sort. He's not, he is neither Catholic nor Jewish. So that means that on Wednesdays he doesn't have any he doesn't have any extra outside lessons to go to, and he is the only person in his class who doesn't have somewhere to go on Wednesdays. So every single other kid in his class, leaves early on Wednesdays to go to go do these things, and he is left there with his teacher, Mrs. Baker. His English teacher, Mrs. Baker, to be specific. He's in, I believe, 7th grade, so he's a middle schooler. He's left with his teacher, Mrs. Baker, and they have a rough time at first because it's just the two of them. If Holling wasn't there, she could go home early. They try and figure things. There's like a whole bunch of stuff with that, but eventually, again, without too many spoilers, Mrs. Baker becomes an important mentor for Holling, and to help him both with the Shakespeare thing mentioned, but also just in finding ways to understand himself and to contextualize his reality of living in this war. Holling's got an older sister who is fantastic. She's so some kind of way. She's such a teenager. He's got his parents, his father, who's an architect at a major firm in town. And Holling is notably the son who will inherit Hood and Associates. So that's like a big pressure that he's got on him, is that his dad is expecting him to grow up and take over the architecture business. It's also important to note that his sister is kind of she's kind of a hippie. She's she's anti-war, and that causes some conflicts within the family. So I just love this book so much. If you've ever if you've ever got some time, I'd really recommend picking up, even as like adults and stuff, because I think that the way that it talks about these subjects and the the emotions that it tackles are very relevant even into adulthood. Fantastic book. I make everyone I can read it. Like I've mentioned a couple times I've got a book club. But part of the first book that I made the book club read was The Wednesday Wars, because I just need to, I need everyone to read this. Here, I've got a quote from this book that I keep pulled up, in my notes app on my phone all the time, because I never want to have to look this quote up. I always want to have it easily accessible. That maybe tells you a little bit about just how much I'm in love with this book. Okay, here's the quote. I think I might have read this to you guys before. But the quote is, "When gods die, they die hard. It's not like they fade away or grow old or fall asleep. They die in fire and pain, and when they come out of you, they leave your guts burned. It hurts more than anything you can talk about. And maybe worst of all is, you're not sure if there will ever be another god to fill their place. Or if you'd ever want another god to fill their place. You don't want the fire to go out inside you twice." And that's from the Wednesday Wars. And consequently, like, I talked earlier about how I've got a very strict, don't meet your heroes policy. And, I'm not going to say that comes entirely from the Wednesday Wars, but I'm not going to say that it's unrelated. I think the Wednesday Wars brings up some very excellent points about what it's like to put people on a pedestal and what can happen with that. I think it's just better to let gods be. It's better to let gods be gods, and to it won't. To get into it a little bit, it will never affect the gods when they become mortal in your eyes. That will never be a thing that has any necessarily effect on them. The only person that will hurt is you. So I just think it's the Wednesday Wars says something about, and I agree that I just see no need to put that at risk. Because, you know, I'd be the one to pay the price if something went wrong. Very good book. Very solid book. I think it's May chapter. May is, oh boy. May is, I've got so many thoughts about that. May is, at least I think it's May. Is it May or is it April? Hold on. February is Romeo and Juliet. March is Julius Caesar. April is, it's not Shakespeare, that's the chapter about track and field. Yeah, May is Hamlet. And we've talked a little bit about Hamlet here. And my deep love and affection for Hamlet. Yeah. Hamlet mentioned. Yeah. It's so good. The way they tackle Hamlet is so incredibly good. I can't even talk about it here because I can't even talk about it, but the way they tackle Hamlet is so good. It is like gut-wrenching. Oh my gosh. Okay. Very good books. Very, very good books out here. Sometimes people will just write a book that like changes your entire brain chemistry and experience, and then we kind of just gotta live with that. Okay, well I think that there's a cave here. I should probably hop into that cave and just make sure that I should just hop into the cave and make sure that it's safe. Safe for Quimbies, in fact. Oh, would you look at that? We've got more of the trial chamber here. The school has to read Hamlet in 10th grade, and oh man, they looked at these wildly depressed and rational high schools and were like, let me spin you kids a yarn. Let me have you heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Sorry. Have you heard the tale of Hamlet? It's a story that your high school teacher would tell you. Yeah. Oh man, no, Hamlet is. I mean, it's one of those ones where people talk about it all the time, but that's because it's so good. Like, yeah, I'll admit to being, you know, very contrary, just like in my everyday life, and if there's a thing that is popular and well liked, then I'll admit to being a little scamp who'd be like, no, I don't like it because I just think it's gotten too big. You know, I will wholeheartedly admit to that. Hamlet is as prolific as it is because it is incredible. You know? Like, sometimes they're right. Sometimes he's right, judges, he's right. He's changed my entire worldview. You know? To quote from Phineas and Ferb. But yeah, no, gosh, again, immediate oxidization. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't oxidize that quickly. You fool! Don't oxidize that quickly. Sometimes you gotta dig the things. Yeah, and I don't understand why there's these little areas of the cobbled deep slate. It does have a little bit of character to everything, where you can imagine that someone, like, dug their way in here or something, but I don't quite understand it. No, but yeah, sometimes people just write a book that changes your entire brain chemistry, and then you just have to live with that. You know? That's not really something that you can, Diamonds! That's not really something you can change at that point. You just have to be okay with the concept that that you will be forever changed. Kind of messed up, honestly, that they can just do that to you. Like, whose bright idea was that that things can just have a major emotional effect on you? I keep hearing yeah. I was like, I keep hearing noises. It was a guy. Of course it was a guy. He handed me a spray that altered my whole brain chemistry, and I couldn't even get a tattoo about it. Like, come on. Rude, honestly. Can't believe they would do that to you. Ooh, there's more diamonds. Come, little guys. I've broken the torch. That's okay. Slimes, am I right? They really do be sliming. They really said, hey buddy, I'm slime in here, and then I said, hey, I'm also existing in this space. Hey, what the heck? And that's what we said. Mutually, the two of us is the slime said that, and I said my bit, and yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though we've been able to see eye to eye. So that is really unfortunate. I was hoping to come to a civilized conclusion about it all, but what you gonna do sometimes, you know? It's a tough world out there. Okay, I do think that was just a 1. But let's check down here. Okay, alright. This one is looking like just a 2. But hey, 3 diamond ore. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's not the box where I've been keeping my diamond ore. Is this the box with the diamond ore? This is not the box with the diamond ore. What about this one? Is this the box with the diamond ore? This is not the box with the diamond ore. Well, hot take, what about this one? Is this the one with the diamond ore? Yes, it is. Thank you very much. I've gotten a surprising amount of diamonds on this excursion, both from like pots inside the both from pots inside the trial chamber, and then also just like ore. Wasn't expecting to get that much ore from this, but here we are. Ooh, funky little staircase. This place is starting to look pretty gutted. Which, I mean, that is the intent, admittedly. But... oh man. Alright, is there like something down here? Or is this just a normal guy? This is just a normal guy. That's chill. That's a good time. But in the way of mining streams sometimes, I think my brain has been kind of liquefied by the monotony of the action, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream there. So thank you everyone so much for coming today. I hope you had a fantastic time. Yeah, I will be back on Tuesday. I'm currently streaming Tuesday through Saturday, starting a little after 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Next week I might try and get a little more Slay the Princess in. But yeah. If you're staying on Twitch, find something cool to watch. If you're leaving Twitch, find something fun to do. And take care of yourselves. Drink water. Take your meds. Get some sleep. I'll drink some more right now because CandyBot is telling me to. I love you guys lots. I'll see you next time. And bye-bye.